Hello everybody out there, this is me, the Undead Viking, and I'm coming to you here to talk to you about something special. I'm talking about overpowered game mats. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a long time, you know that like where I've been doing the videos, I used to do them on my kitchen upstairs. I used to have like a little tiny closet that I did stuff in. I had a game room that recently now has been turned into an office, and I have now taken over the downstairs family room, and I'm like slowly but surely turning this into my gaming den, if you will. So the big thing is that many years ago I did a review for basically this giant neoprene mat that I got a hold of, and I got it through an old online seller called Boards and Bits. They're long since like out of business, which is sad, of course, but I'm not here to talk about that at all. Over the period of time, ever since that like first neoprene mat that I ever purchased, over the course of time, this is like slowly but surely like changed. Like more and more of these game mats have come out, and I've done reviews of game mats before. And this may sound like hyperbole at this point, but I am going to show you what is, in my opinion, the best game mat I have gotten so far. Now, there are so many different things about this that I really like, so I'm just going to kind of dive in to a few of the things that you're probably accustomed to as far as like most game mats that you get. Now, this is a very thick game mat. And by thick, I don't mean it's like, an inch thick or anything like that, but it's like one of those things where you can actually feel the heft. You can actually feel like how like it has some weight to it. It isn't going to slide, isn't going to move, and it feels like it's sturdy. If that's kind of a weird thing to say about a mat, but if once you have one of these, you'll kind of know. Like some of the other ones that I've had, they do everything that I want them to do as far as like being able to put the game on top of it, protecting the table that it's on, things like that. But it is one of those things where some just come with like better material than others, and this is top of the line. The other thing that I really liked about this one is that I'm just going to show you this. This has nothing to do with anything, but most of the game mats that you get a hold of now that people are selling are kind of like basically like big giant mouse pads, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is just a mouse pad I got from a family reunion a few years ago. But the big thing is that if you notice on the corners of these, there's like, it's just a flat corner. And if you've ever had a mouse pad you've used a lot, you've monkeyed with, you've done a lot on, you know that these ends get frayed and they eventually start falling apart. Now the big thing about this is this has the stitched ending. So I'm going to kind of lift this up so you can kind of see that. Notice how like there is no like open area to this. This has been stitched all around. And you might have noticed, obviously, if you've been watching my videos lately, this is the mat that I'm doing all my videos on now, because you can see they were kind enough to put my logo on there. And the really cool thing about overpowered game mats is that they will work with you as far as what you want on your game mat. They're highly customizable. They can screen print these things and they look amazing. Now I just have a flat green one because that just helps a lot with like when I'm doing videoing, but there's a wide range of colors that you can pick. Now as far as like what it does, if you've never owned a game mat before, if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, the big thing about the game mats are like just as far as like with cards and with the noise, with dice and all kinds of things. So just to show you that you don't have, obviously, like if you wanted to have a bunch of wooden cubes on here, they're not, if you drop them on there, they're going to kind of have, it's going to cushion their fall. They're not going to make a bunch of noise when you drop them on the table. If it's like a flat wooden table, like if you drop your thits, they're going to be bouncing around, they're going to hit the floor, you're going to be spending 5 minutes digging underneath your table trying to find it. But like I play a lot of poker, and these perfectly fit. I have two of these, and if you can kind of see, there's another one over here. These perfectly fit onto a large poker table that I use, and that's the nice thing too. I mean, like I said, they feel like quality. They feel thick, but they aren't heavy. Like a lot of these, like you roll them up and it's like, oh, I got this 20-pound rug I'm carrying around. But these, like, I don't know what they did, but they made it really, really nice, but also lightweight. So I will bring both of these like upstairs to where my larger table is when I have people over to play poker, and we play poker on them. And I could have gotten like a big long one too. They would have covered the entire table, and I might still do that. But anyway, so the big thing about like when you're playing cards, one of the things, especially, and there's lots of things too as far as like playing cards in like different board games that you're going to be playing, but I'm just using poker cards here. The big thing is like obviously when you have like your 2 cards here, like if you ever get another card, like you can like easily slide that. Sorry, I didn't pick. You can easily like just push the one end and you can slide the other card underneath like so. And the big thing is too, like if you ever had like when you're trying to pick up a card on like a table, right? And like you don't have like a fingernail or something or anything, so you're like and you're trying to get it to pick it up, right? So the big thing with these is that you can just poke one end like that and then it just pops up. And you don't have to worry about people that you're playing games with, because I know you take really good care of your games like we all do, but there's always that one person, that for whatever reason feels they have to bend every card like this, and you're just like watching that and you want to scream because you like think they're going to rip it in half. But you can kind of train them instead of like, oh God, can I pick up this card here? Let me fumble. They're like, don't do that. Now you can just say, hey, dude, just push the corner and pick it up like that, and it's done. So that's kind of cool thing. Also, because I play a lot of poker, I just want to show you like with poker chips, like also one of the things that like they aren't going to make a ton of noise when people are dropping them on the table over and over again. You always got that one guy who wants to show how cool like he can poker shuffle. Of course I can't, so I'm trying to be cool and I can't do it right now. Oh look, I did it. But but instead of like dropping them on the table and them rolling off the table and trying to track them down, that's another big thing about it. The other thing, if you don't know, is dice on a game mat. If you've been watching my videos for a while, or even fairly recently, you'll know that I'm a big fan of big games with tons of dice and lots of rolling, and so you do it. And I also play a lot of Warhammer, and I play Warhammer on these particular mats because they're like the perfect size for a small skirmish battle, a 3x3 battle. And then like you can also get like a 4x4, and go check out those designs. I mean, like, and also if you had like a screen print you wanted to put on that would like show some ancient battlefield or something, you want that for your miniatures gaming, oh, perfect. But anyway, so you want to roll dice, you don't have a dice tower or anything like that, you're going to roll them on a table, they're going to be like bunch of noise clattering each way, but just look, you can barely even hear this here. I got a ton of my like my blue dice here that I use for my orc army, and I'm just going to roll them here. I have blue orcs, I'm weird. But anyway, here, hold on. You can barely hear it, right? So it's like, it's just, and they aren't going to scatter all over the place. It's just, that's another big boon for having a game mat. Plus, like I said, if you like have a nice table, if you have some place where like, if you aren't fortunate enough to have like your a gaming table that's just for that, or if you are like, if the gaming table you have is the dining table in your house and you don't want to damage it, you want to keep it safe, you want to keep it clean, these game mats work for that as well. I want to point out one other thing. I've been talking a lot, like this is kind of blah, as far as like it's just a big green background and that has my logo, Undead Viking Videos, right down here. I wanted to show you another game mat. Basically, this was like a, and they did send me these. I'll tell you up front. They contacted me, asked me if I was interested in like having a couple of these mats to mess around with, and in exchange for doing this video. And so they did send me these. And unbeknownst to me, I just said, hey, send me a couple green ones with my logo on it. That'd be awesome. But they also sent me this super cool giant mouse pad, which I wanted to show you just how cool like their art is and everything like that. I mean, I'm assuming they picked this because of like the cool Viking ship, and I don't know what that evil guy is doing there, but I do like the ghosts swarming all over, and there's the evil like pirate ship in the background. It's just a nice scene. But this is the kind of art that you're going to be looking at getting, and I mean, this is where when I'm working and I have my keyboard on this and my mouse on this, it's kind of like an oversized mat. And I suppose if you played like Magic the Gathering or whatever, and you wanted this as your play mat for your cards, work perfectly for that as well. But I just wanted to show you that they are doing things like this, and it's same material. Like, and I'll even show you like up close here. I can pick this one up. I can show you up close. It's like there's that stitching. It's like thin enough but strong enough and light enough, and like, and also weirdly thick enough, if that even makes any sense, that it is like the perfect game mat. I'm blown away by the quality. I can't wait to see what else they're gonna do. So if you want to check this out, go ahead and check out Overpowered Game Mats. You will not be disappointed. Something I also have to mention is that these mats that you purchase, they are fully customizable. It isn't like they just have, okay, we have this size, we have a 4x4 mat, we got a 3x3 mat, we got a 3x5 mat. No, you can measure your table at home. You can figure out, okay, I need exactly, 5 foot by 3 foot for this table. I need a 5 foot by 5 foot for this table. Like this table, this big giant gaming table I have is a 4 foot by 6 foot rectangle. I can take whatever design I want, and I can go ahead and and just enlarge that or shrink it down to whatever I like. I'm already thinking about what kind of like cool Warhammer battle scene do I want to like put, and I can use that for when I have a miniatures gaming, or when I have people over for D&D. Like if I could have some cool like underground hex map or something like that I could have them move their characters on and stuff like that. The customizable option that Overpowered is giving you is like, I think, the first for this kind of industry, and it's something that really needs to be mentioned. If you have any questions about this, by all means, ask away. I can compare, contrast, do whatever it is what you want. And thank you very much for taking time to watch this video. Until next time, I was the Undead Viking, telling you out there, to be the best possible human being that you possibly can be. Strive to give out more love and happiness to the universe. I guarantee you, you'll get it back in return. Until next time, you are awesome.